Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
It was a busy weekend for law enforcement in northern Minnesota after officials in Norman and Polk counties arrested 4 people on charges related to burglary and drugs. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson tells us about the arrests, beginning our coverage in Norman County.
It happened in Borup, Minnesota, 8 miles south of Ada. The Red River Straw and Transport Company was burglarized. More than $5,000 worth of equipment and tools were stolen.
That's when law enforcement got creative in catching their suspects. An undercover agent with the Pine to Prairie Drug Task Force used $900 in marked bills to lure in the suspects to buy their stolen equipment and also make a drug arrest.
Where the Pine to Prairie Task Force assist us in the purchase of that property. After the purchase of the property, we executed a search warrant in the city of Twin Valley. During that search warrant, we recovered some meth paraphernalia.
2 suspects from Twin Valley were arrested. 37-year-old John Thornton is charged with 3 felony counts: sale of a controlled substance, burglary, and theft. 37-year-old Stephen Chandler faces felony charges of burglary and theft. Authorities say solving a burglary or a theft case often leads to drug arrests, as it did in this case. From Ada, Minnesota, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
And up in Polk County, 2 Crookston men face felony charges following an alcohol-fueled incident in a downtown Crookston apartment. 34-year-old Robert Schuler is charged with burglary, terroristic threats, and obstructing the legal process. 30-year-old Eric Delonis was arrested on a burglary charge. It's alleged the 2 men entered an apartment without permission and wouldn't leave. The suspect in today's shooting at the U.S. Capitol was known to Capitol Police. In October of last year, Larry Russell Dawson was arrested on a charge of assaulting a police officer after an outburst in the chamber of the House of Representatives. But Capitol Police Chief Matthew Verderosa wouldn't elaborate on Dawson's previous record.
While we have not, I have not received confirmation about who the suspect is, we believe that the suspect is known to us.
And how was he known to you, sir?
Through previous contacts.
Court documents from the October 2015 incident describe Dawson as a 66-year-old male from Tennessee. In that incident, according to the documents, he loudly stated to Congress he was a prophet of God. This afternoon, the Capitol and the White House were placed on lockdown following the shooting at the Capitol's Visitor Center entrance. Officials say Dawson pulled a gun on officers after setting off the metal detectors at the entrance. A Capitol police officer shot him. Towns across the valley that have trains running through them can't stop talking about the train semi-truck collision that happened last Thursday. It caused an evacuation of Callaway, Minnesota, and later an explosion that damaged several structures near the tracks. Today, crews are working to replace the damaged train tracks. People who live near the tracks in Callaway say they hope more signs are put up warning people of the trains passing, so something like this doesn't happen again.
It will definitely limit the excuses people can have, and it will definitely avoid a future incident, which it could have been a lot worse.
Along with the signs, officials from several railroad companies and the Becker County Sheriff's Office remind drivers to make sure they stop, look, and listen anytime they're driving over train tracks. And coming up on Valley News Live at 6, hear from a group advocating train awareness. And what a great day, sunshine and nice temps. Will today be the nicest day this week? Let's head over to Robert Hahn to find out. Robert?
A very nice day out there, and we've got temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. We'll see similar temperatures tomorrow, that ahead of a storm system that will bring some big changes as we head through the middle and latter portions of the week. But right now, get out there and enjoy it. Still a very nice evening. 46 in Langdon, 52 Grand Forks, 58 here in Fargo, 62 down in the Sisseton area. We've seen some gusty winds from time to time, but not too bad, 5 to 15 miles per hour with some occasional stronger gusts. And we'll see some breezy conditions as we head through the day tomorrow. Not a whole lot of cloudiness, just a few high clouds streaming through from time to time. And we'll see more clouds building in as we head through the day tomorrow. And again, that ahead of a storm system that will bring in some big changes. Underneath what clouds, we do have no precipitation, none anticipated tonight or for much of the day tomorrow, but that will change tomorrow evening. But this evening, very nice here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Once the sun sets, temperatures will drop on off into the upper 40s. Tomorrow, again, warm temperatures, but not as warm as we head towards the middle and latter portions of the week. How cool do we get, and what kind of precipitation will we be seeing as we head through the rest of the week? We'll let you know here in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Robert. Do you always get what you pay for when it comes to your coffee? Two Californians say they don't, and they're seeking justice. They filed a class action lawsuit against Starbucks, alleging the coffee giant underfills its lattes and that the company has saved millions of dollars. This, according to the complaint. The plaintiffs say they purchased and measured Starbucks lattes at stores in several states and found that each latte was underfilled by approximately 25%. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop investigated if the Starbucks in the FM area are measuring up correctly or if you're losing money.
Starbucks serves hot and iced beverages that people flock to daily.
I think I spend about $70 a week here.
Dylan Howard says he comes here almost every day and always gets large lattes.
This one's like decently full. It's almost there.
Starbucks has 3 sizes for its hot drinks: a 12-ounce tall, a 16-ounce grande, and a 20-ounce venti hot. The lawsuit claims baristas follow a recipe that consistently delivers a drink with 25% less volume than what the customer has ordered. We decided to test out a variety of size beverages here in the FM area at 3 different stores. First, with a 16-ounce grande mocha.
Well, it says 12 ounces.
That's a lost value of $1.03. Next, we tested a 20-ounce venti caramel latte. It came in at 5 ounces short with a lost value of $1.15. Next, and the most shocking that we tested, was a 12-ounce tall toffee nut soy latte. It's 6. That's right, 6 ounces short. Half of what it's supposed to be served. That's a lost value of $2.02. That's half of what we paid for that cup of Java.
They got good coffee, but yeah, maybe they could stop shorting me a bit.
Never noticed there being a sizable shortage in my cup.
I mean, if I have the $5 for the cup of coffee, it probably doesn't make a big difference for the price.
Many of the customers we spoke with thought the lawsuit was silly and felt they got a good cup of coffee for the money.
I already drank some of this and it looked pretty full to me.
We reached out to the local Starbucks managers for comments, but they were unavailable. In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Starbucks says the suit has no merit. The court in California must decide if the case will be a class action on behalf of all Starbucks customers. If that happens and Starbucks loses, your Starbucks receipts could become valuable. We have some developments out of North Fargo where a spokesman tells us possibly contaminated groundwater at Fargo's Air National Guard base will not be tested this year. The spokesman says North Dakota sites are scheduled to be tested starting the fall of 2017 and adds that the Fargo facility may have to wait until early 2018. We brought you this story after concerns over 600 Department of Defense sites using aqueous film forming foam in training exercises. Chemicals called perfluorinated compounds may have leaked into the groundwater, contaminating it. The 119th Wing, known as the Happy Hooligans, says it's met with consultants and performed field visits looking for areas where contamination may have occurred. The West Fargo School Board is expected to consider the early retirement of a controversial teacher and coach. This at its meeting tonight. Jim Jonas generated complaints from parents a few years ago because of what some called a personality conflict. Under a retirement deal we first told you about last week, the district is offering to pay $22,000 to his teacher retirement, and Jonas would agree to waive any future legal action against the district. We will have the latest from the meeting on Valley News Live 10 and 10. In today's schemes and ripoffs, Bismarck police are investigating a computer scam that cost a man more than $1,000. Police say the 53-year-old victim was contacted by a person claiming to be support for software he installed on his computer. Police say the suspect told the man they would reimburse him money for the software and instructed him to create an online bank account to do so. The victim then sent a MoneyGram with a portion of the amount he owed. He was again contacted by the suspect, who said they would lock up his computer until the remaining funds were sent. Authorities say the victim brought his computer to the police for investigation and has since created new bank accounts. That dream of one day owning a home could soon become a reality for some Moorhead residents. The city is working with Minnesota Housing to provide affordable first-time homebuyer loans. More than $700,000 is available starting in April. Resources are available for home buyers through the Minnesota Housing Startup Loan Program. To get started, you can contact participating lenders. And for more information, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.